a setup video for CVC 200 top labeler. So over here on the screen, we got all our settings, start button, stop button, the auto adjust, which will automatically set up the size of the box and the sensitivity of the label, our memories, recall memory and save memory, label parameters, printer settings, and system settings. There's kind of a production speed over here and how many you've outputted. So we can go ahead and set this machine up. First part of setup is always setting your rails for the size of your box. So there's hand knobs here to open and close the rails. We just want to make it kind of snug to our box or whatever we're labeling. Make sure it kind of slides all the way through without anything hitting or touching or slowing down the box. After you get your rails set, we're going to set the height of our peel plate. We want to make sure that the peel plate's not hitting the box. On the back side here, there's a set screw. So a set handle, we can release it, and then this knob here moves our peel plate up and down. So you can see as I'm moving it, it's moving that peel plate up and down. We want to be roughly within 1/4 of an inch of the object we're labeling on. After you get it set, there's a lock here. Just lock it down so it doesn't move on you. On here there's a little scale so you can get repeated. Put it in your SOP of where that's set for the container. The other adjustment back here is going to be in and out. It's going to adjust left and right where that label is going to hit the box. So you can see the whole labeling head moving here when I move this. So we'll set that up when, after we get everything set up to see where the position of our label is. So as we get our rails set, our peel plate set, we want to place our labels on. So this is just a holder. We want to get that off. Place our labels. There's a web path over here. Right here we can follow this. The red line is going to be your labels. We're just going to want to follow that guy. So as we're putting these on, first step is to come from underneath here. We're going to go up and around. This is our brake. So when this is pulled, it allows your labels to free spin. This is a tensioner here. We'll have to lift that up and lock it back into place. It just keeps nice tension on our labels. After I get it going a little bit, I'm going to place this cover on here. We want it nice and tight against our labels so they can't move around. It'll change your position of your labels. There's a lock here to lock it in place so it can't move. Okay, we want to make sure we get this tensioner locked down or else it'll allow it to float around a little bit. This is our label sensor. I'm going to make sure we go through that. There's 2 drives here, front and the back. We're going to go through the drive. Make sure we're going through our sensor. And we're going to go around our peel plate. I like to pull a little slack in there so I can get it all the way around. Okay, so we're going to go around our peel plate, through the second drive roller, and to our pickup spool. Okay, we want to make sure we're going the right way on the pickup spool. Kind of let it tension itself, and be sure to lock down your drive rollers. There's 2 of them. You have to unlock them and relock them when you're weaving your labels. Okay, after your labels are in there, our rails are set up, we're going to utilize this auto adjust button. Okay, if we press and hold that, it's going to kind of tell you what to do. So we'll press and hold it. It's going to say place 1 container on the conveyor. So we'll go ahead and place our container on the conveyor. What this is going to do, it's going to read the size of our container, and it's going to take a sensitivity of our label. And what that's doing, it's taking a sensitivity of the backing paper, and then it's adjusting and it's reading the length of the label. So one important factor in there, when we do this, we want to make sure when we do that auto adjust that this is blank of a label. It's just the backing paper. So I'll go back, and if I was going to do this, run the auto adjust, just make sure that you don't have any labels on that sensor. You want to make sure that you're on just backing paper. Okay, that's going to be key to this auto adjust. Just make sure that this is just backing paper, no label. So we'll run that auto adjust again. It's going to take the reading of the object, the size of it, and it's going to take the sensitivity of our backing paper and read the length of our label and auto set the machine up. Okay, so that's the auto adjust. After we get it auto adjusted, we're gonna place our container and see where we shoot the label. So right now it looks like we're a little bit off on the label. We're shooting too late, and our mechanical adjustment for position is a little bit off as well. So we need to move our label head this way. So I'm gonna unlock it and go ahead and move my label position. And again, there's a scale on here. You can write in your SOPs where that's set for each container. So after I change that, I'm just going to change one thing at a time here and see how centered we are. So we're a little bit better, a little bit more adjustment to get it perfectly centered. Okay. And then we'll have to stop it, but we'll go into our label parameters, and here's our label parameters. The bottle diameter or the object diameter is, preset with the auto set, so we don't want to change that unless it's incorrect. Label length is also preset by the auto adjust, so we don't want to change that. Label speed, that's how fast the labels are shooting out. Now this is an adjustment. The labeler itself is going to set it to match the speed of the product. If you need to make an adjustment, you can. Not very often you have to make that. Extension is going to be how much label is past the peel plate here. I like to start with little to none out there. We can make that adjustment here with extension, move it back or move it forward if we need to. It runs pretty good on the auto setup portion of it. Position is going to be the one we're going to change the most often to get our position on our box correct. So we need to shoot it a little bit sooner. So we're going to put a number in here and see what it does for us. So we'll put 30 in there, and it's going to shoot it sooner. So let's see what that does for us. Okay, we're still a little bit covering up our letters here, so we need to go a little bit more than the 30. So we'll come in, label parameters, change it to 35, and see what that does for us. So there, we're not covering up the letters, we're not over the edge of the box, so that's a pretty good setting there. So after we get all our settings set up, we like where it is, we can come in here and save memory. The blue ones are the ones that are filled already. We can select whatever one we want, put a name in there, and it's going to save it. Now it's going to recall the speeds and your positionings and all your label parameters that you have set. It's not going to save, obviously, the mechanical up and down adjustments and stuff like that, but it does save the stuff you program in the HMI. So after I save it, I want to run a few just to make sure that we're all good. So I like to put 3 or 4 on here and just see what it does. And make sure we're getting good labels. And that's the setup for the CVC 220. 200, excuse me. If you have any questions, give us a call here at Right Stuff Equipment.